Hello everybody,
We are
Tanya,
Ira,
It,
Anya,
Kate,
and together we are the Monkey Minds team.
and welcome to our English lesson.
what is it about?
well, do the puzzle and you'll get the answer.
So, and what is our aim?
We will investigate life and reign of Henry VIII Tudor.
We reveal facts and dispel myths.
We judge one of the most outstanding kings of history and decide if he was despot or great leader.
Before we start, please express your opinions based on what you already know about Henry VIII.
You think you know a story, but you only know how it ends. To get to the heart of the story, you have to go back to the beginning.
To start with, let's get acquainted with Tudor dynasty and his contemporaries. In the 15th century, England became divided by a struggle for the English throne between two dynasties, Lancastrian and Yorks, and it's called the War of Roses. Tudor dynasty started when Henry Tudor defeated Richard III and so finished this long war. This way, Henry Tudor was proclaimed King Henry VII, the first Tudor king. Then he married Elizabeth of York. The Tudor rose united both dynasties. Red rose from Lancastrians and white rose from Yorks. They had 4 children and Henry VIII was among them. But, however, his older brother was expected to take the throne. And unfortunately, he died in very early age. So Henry would be the next king of England. He came to the throne at the age of 17, marrying Catherine of Aragon. He married 5 other wives before his death. Edward, his only living son, came to the throne at the age of 9, and his reign was very short. Then there was Mary I, who's also known as Bloody Mary. Elizabeth I, daughter of Henry and Anne Boleyn, was one of the most long-reigning queens in history. Under her reign, England asserted itself as a major European power in politics, trade, and arts. In general, Tudor monarchs ruled the Kingdom of England for just over a century, with 5 monarchs in that period. Well, among the contemporaries of Henry VIII, we should mention philosopher Thomas More, Cardinal Thomas Wolsey, and statesman Thomas Cromwell. Now let us check what you know about these people.
Divorce, beheaded and died. Divorce, beheaded, survived. I'm Henry VIII, I had 6 sorry wives. Some might say I ruined them.
Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. This mnemonic is used by school children in Britain to remember facts from the Henry VIII's private life. King's 6 marriages are much spoken about. When Henry's brother died, he married his widow, Catherine of Aragon. They were married almost for 25 years and had only 1 daughter, Mary. When Henry decided to marry his second wife, Anne Boleyn, he even broke up with the Roman Catholic Church. 3 years after Anne was crowned, she was accused in treason and ended her days in Tower. She was beheaded. She left Henry 1 daughter, Elizabeth. Henry was single for only a week. His third wife, Jane Seymour, managed to give birth to the crown's heir. She died when her son was only 12 days old. The next wife was found in Cleves. The marriage was mostly politically aimed, so it didn't last long. His last wife, Catherine Parr, overlived him. And now a couple of questions to check what you have learned. How many children did Henry VIII have?
3.
It's right. Where was Henry VIII's first wife from?
From Cleves.
It's right.
So during the reign of the Tudors, London saw a rapid development of architecture. Henry VIII liked his palaces and was proud of them. Let's take a look at two most remarkable buildings. Hampton Court was Henry's favorite, but he didn't have it built. He seized it. It originally belonged to Cardinal Thomas Wolsey.
Your Eminence has built the most beautiful palace here. Probably the finest house in England. I have nothing to compare with it. It is yours.
So Wolsey had to give it to Henry. He spent 10 years, 62,000 pounds, which is $30 million nowadays, making Hampton Court one of the most lavish and modern palaces in Europe. The Tower of London was founded by William the Conqueror in the 11th century. Throughout its history, the tower has served as a royal palace, fortress, prison, place of execution, a royal mint, arsenal, and a jewel house. Today it's mainly a tourist attraction. During the reign of Henry VIII, it was a prison where hundreds of noble people were executed, including two of his wives. Here Anne Boleyn's death took place.
Yes, it's true. Henry wanted to get divorced with his first wife and marry Anne Boleyn, but he couldn't do it without Pope's permission. So he split off the English church from Roman church. No, it's false. In those years, thousands of Catholic monasteries and abbeys were closed, so their lands and belongings were granted for king's supporters. It's true, when Henry came to the throne, he defended the church against Protestants. He fought the ideas of Martin Luther and received the title of Defender of the Faith. It's false. Henry declared himself the supreme head of New English Church. Since then, all British monarchs have performed this role.
Well, before final word, just bare facts in 60 seconds. Henry was afraid of illness and helped to develop medicine. He was a talented composer who could play several musical instruments. He didn't compose green sleeves as he believed. The king was buried next to his third wife in Windsor Castle. Henry had the biggest collection of tapestries ever. He knew 3 languages. He expanded the navy for 5 ships to 60. Most of parks in London of there exist to Henry VIII. Henry VIII sent more people to death than any other English monarch. He acted for the development of English culture and education. He executed everybody who didn't support his reformation. Henry VIII became the king at the age of 70 and died when he was 55. He is still one of the most outstanding thought controversial monarchs in British and world history.
Or
Even less.